Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I'm streaming a bit early today, and that's because I do have some stuff going on. So I do have to stream earlier today, but I think it works out because Bitcoin inches higher. It's above $57,000. It's inching closer to its previous all-time high of 64,000. We're just inches away. And I can't imagine when 64,000 comes again and as Bitcoin heads to 70, 80, 90, $100,000 what that is going to feel like. And I know you guys are excited about it. So many of us has been waiting, right? It seems like an eternity, but really it's just been a few months. It's really just been a few months. So let's discuss what's going on with Bitcoin. Also, what's going on with altcoins, this recurring theme about dominance shifting to Bitcoin. That's still holding true. So let's see. Let's discuss and let's see what happens. All right. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But in case I am early or late, make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I'm feeling good, and I see a lot of Sheep fans in here. Sheep is also doing fantastic. There's just a lot of stuff going on today. Today's just a good day. Just a good day, right? Especially when Bitcoin inches up another 1,000. Actually, if you look at it, 2,000, 3,000, almost 3,000 from the low from a day ago. Man, we're doing fantastic. Fantastic. We have shattered that 52,000 mark, right? That was the previous local high. We've shattered that. We're moving higher. And now we're right at the cusp of breaking $60,000, which is just a few thousand away. Can we see it this week? I told you guys last night during my stream, I think this week is going to be a good week. Last weekend, we just got through it, right? Non-movement, but no volatility at all. And that tells me that something is brewing. And it tells me that this week can be fantastic. So I do think that 60,000 is right around the corner. And of course, this correlates with like Plan B and all these other things that's going on. So yeah. Tommy asks, is it a good time to DCA into some alts? Yes and no. See, that's the thing. $1 million question right now. Because I've been telling you guys about BTC dominance, right? And take a look at it right here. And it continues to go higher. It's 45.1 today. Last night, it was like 44.8. So BTC dominance continues to go up. So we had this for about a week now, over a week. And I've said that this is the first time in 2021 that altcoins are actually losing strength against Bitcoin. Throughout all of 2021, starting January and going on until just basically about a week ago, every time Bitcoin went up, like today, up 4%, up 5%, right? Altcoins will be up 10%, 15%. But that's not what's happening right now. You could see Ethereum is barely in the green. Cardano is in the red. XRP is in the red. Solana is in the red. Polkadot is in the red. Dogecoin is in the red. Sheep continues to go up. Sheep is right under Doge, man. And Sheep is above some of these. I don't know if the market cap on Live Coin Watch is correct. I think CMC shows it a little bit lower, but still, Sheep is just on fire. But you can see Luna, Uniswap, Avalanche, Chainlink, Algorand, Polygon, Filecoin, Cosmos, ICP VeChain, Axis. They're not moving. None of them are moving right now, right? So the money is flowing into basically Bitcoin at this point. And I've said this reminds me a lot of 2017, the last few months of 2017 when Bitcoin went on an absolute tear. And it actually went up so much, it sucked the liquidity out from the altcoins. And we may be at the very start of that right now. We've enjoyed basically 8 terrific months, 9 terrific months of really good, solid altcoin movement. But this could now flip. Could. I'm saying could because it's only been a week. But if we see Bitcoin dominance continue to go up, inching closer to 50 and keep going beyond and could end up in the 60s, then we're mimicking what happened in 2017. And if that happens, you got to make sure you have some Bitcoin on hand. Yesterday, people asked me, George, I'm 100% in altcoins. I have no Bitcoin, or I have very little Bitcoin. Should I get more into Bitcoin? This is why I advise people to go 50, 25, 25. 50% in Bitcoin, 25% in altcoins, big cap altcoins, and 25% in mid to small cap altcoins. That works in all conditions, right? So for those of you guys that are wondering if you should DCA more into altcoins, well, it really depends. Do you have that solid footing in Bitcoin? Because you don't want to skip out. Bitcoin is the biggest dog. It will continue to lead the market, right? All these altcoins, as much as we'd like to think that they have decoupled from Bitcoin and everyone else, not really. Bitcoin is still by far the biggest dog in the game, and it will continue to do so for quite some time. And you can see now Bitcoin is solidly above $1 trillion once again. A $1 trillion asset, that's no joke. That's not an easy thing to do. Now, going forward, I have just a few things to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about, I'll get to Q&A where I can answer more questions about altcoins and Bitcoin. But right now, Bitcoin is definitely stealing the show. So if you have no exposure to Bitcoin, say you're all in a SHIB or all in Doge, or just say all in on altcoins, you really should start thinking about adding some Bitcoin to your portfolio. Because if Bitcoin dominance continues to go up and you hold no Bitcoin, your portfolio is really going to suffer. It's really going to suffer, and that's not what you want. All right, now moving forward, I talked about Plan B. He shared something interesting. I did not know this. Even though we had an all-time high in Bitcoin at 64,000, the monthly close was not at 64,000. It was at, in fact, 58.8 thousand. And BTC right now in the monthly close is about 56.5, which is not too far off. We can certainly break through that pretty easily with the monthly close. Of course, we still have a full 2.5 weeks until the end of this month. And Plan B, remember, I've covered a lot about his predictions. He predicted with his on-chain analysis that Bitcoin will end the month right at $64,000. And if it does that, then it does two things. One is we could see a brand new high for Bitcoin, and we could see a brand new high for the monthly close. So both of those things could be on the table, and we could see them in the near future. I mean, Bitcoin is at 57.5 right now. Okay, so we could see 60,000 by the end of tonight, by tomorrow. Going to 60,000 from here is only another 5% jump. It's not that unreasonable. These numbers get bigger and bigger as Bitcoin's overall value gets bigger. Think about it. Bitcoin at right now, 5% is about what? 2,800, right? So you do another 5%, 60,000. But then you do 5% of 60,000, that 2,800 becomes now 3,000, right? So the percentages, even though it might be the same, the dollar amounts are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And congratulations, those of you guys that DC'd into Bitcoin at 40,000, at 30,000 earlier this year, last year below 20,000. Congratulations, you're reaping in the rewards. And I've said this before, feel the weight of Bitcoin at 58,000. Okay, I've said this before at 30,000, at 40,000, 50, of course 60,000. The weight of a Bitcoin being at this high. You got to imagine, if you have a whole coiner, okay, if you're a whole coiner, think about it. If you have one whole Bitcoin, you at least have $57,000, right? Now go ask your neighbor, ask your friends, ask your coworkers to go become a whole coiner. How hard is that? How many people can just take out $58,000 and slap into Bitcoin and become a whole coiner? It's not easy. Very, very little percent of the population can do that. Even people that make six figures, well into six figures. You could talk about lawyers and doctors making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. I know so many that have zero savings. They can't even be a whole coiner, even though they make well over $200,000, right? So congratulations for those of you guys that achieved that one whole Bitcoin. And many of you guys have achieved a lot more than one. But if you achieved that, man, congratulations, because that one coin now at 58,000 will soon be 100,000, and in the next 5 to 10 years will become $1 million just by having one Bitcoin. So, congratulations. Now, moving on. Before I move on, a few super chats. Matt C. My wife and I made a donation this weekend to one of our local pet rescues in Puff's honor. I appreciate that. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Lauren is a new member. Welcome. Dustin says 50, 25, 25. Days like today, can't thank you enough. See, I mean, I didn't just make that number out of the blue, right? It's because I've lived through the up and downs, and I know when things are just going sky high, no one cares about 50, 25, 25. Everyone just wants to go 100% altcoins. But, you know, this last week have shown that that strategy would have helped you tremendously and helped you protect the value of your portfolio. Now, moving forward, what else is there besides Plan B? Mike McGlone is looking at. He's from Bloomberg. He's looking at this. Well, the U.S. has ever increasing debt, and there's talks about potential default, right? But Bitcoin, on the other hand, is showing the supply keeps decreasing and set for Q4 price rise, since this is the last year of this year and last year of a 4-year cycle, right? So what does that mean? You add the two together, that's a perfect storm for tremendous billions of billions of billions to possibly trillions that is looking to flow into Bitcoin, right? People are starting to not trust the U.S. government, not trust federal Chairman Powell to do the right thing for us, right? As more and more trillions gets printed, as inflation continues to rise, as debt continues to rise, and as this potential default that's on the table, supposedly, I don't think it'll ever happen, but if it does, that's all disastrous for the USD. So you got to put your money elsewhere. You got to convert that USD into something that is appreciating and has appreciated for the last 12 years. And that's Bitcoin. Despite volatility, it continues to go higher and higher and higher and higher. Nothing has outperformed Bitcoin. Nothing is even close to Bitcoin's performance in the last 12 years. We're talking about millions of percent. Millions of percent. So it's a perfect storm, is what Mike is saying, I believe. Not to put words in his mouth, but I believe that's what he's saying. Billionaire Bill Miller also agrees. He's like, Bitcoin is less risky at 43,000 and 300. Of course it is. It's less risky at a higher number because you have so many people that have bought into it and now hold it, including billionaires like himself and Paul Tudor Jones and Mike Novogratz and Tim Draper and of course Michael Saylor. The list goes on and on and on, right? You have all these billionaires that continue to buy more and more and more, and banks continue to buy more and more and more. Hedge funds and investment firms, they're all buying more and more and more. So of course the risk goes down. The bigger Bitcoin becomes, the less risky it becomes. And again, this plays into what I said about the weight, the gravity of Bitcoin. Man, as it goes higher, these guys want more of it because they feel like it's less risky. So as they want more of it, they buy more. It causes the price to go up, and it causes more people to want it in. So it's like a self-generating FOMO machine. And once Bitcoin goes above 100,000, I mean, forget about it. The FOMO will be cranked at all-time high, and it's going to continue to go on for quite some time. So people that think that Bitcoin could go to 200, 250,000 by this cycle could possibly happen because of all the FOMO. No, I have not checked out Tiger King. I'm not going to check it out. Jeff, appreciate it. All right, what else is there? Let's move on. Here, of course, TechDev. Awesome fractals between now and 2013 and 2017, right? So we're still early in 2021, so he's making some assumptions here, but kind of projecting to blow off top very similarly to 2017 and 2013. But again, he's applying Fibonacci levels, which the low, which is 1.272, and Bitcoin has touched upon that and utilized that as a support every single cycle. And that's where you get a rounded mid-cycle top. Then you have a accumulation where Bitcoin gets back to its previous high. And then after that, you go up and have a blow-off top event to this pocket of 2.272 to 2.372, which happened in 2013 and 2017. So if 2021 is just like 2013 and 2017, and we're going to reach that same Fibonacci pocket, that means Bitcoin will have a blow-off top, and that means that a blow-off top will end somewhere between $200,000 and $255,000. Now, afterwards, there might be a tremendous drop. There might be a dead cat bounce too, if history repeats or rhymes, right? But first things first, are we going to get that blow-off top? Well, if we're going by fractal patterns, looking like we will. And like I said, after FOMO hits, after 100,000, things can move very, very, very quickly. And there's a lot of catalysts that's coming too. For example, Bitcoin ETFs, which may be approved this month. So a lot of things are lining up. Can we have that blow-off top where Bitcoin goes to $250,000, which is roughly 4x from here? And if that happens, what about the altcoins? Are the altcoins go up 4x? Yes. Are the altcoins go higher? Yes. Because you know why? In 2017, when Bitcoin had that blow-off top event and started to come down, guess what happened to the altcoins? They started shooting up like crazy because the money started flowing into altcoins. And this time around, when you have Bitcoin being in the trillions, think about the money outflowing from Bitcoin going to the altcoins. That can cause a catastrophic FOMO event where literally everyone is jumping to altcoins and cause them to go up 5 to 10x. So this could be, I do believe, I don't think it could. I do believe this will be the biggest generational wealth, time period or general wealth, time frame ever in the history of crypto, and I would say ever in the history of any investment out there. I mean, that's a bold claim, but the amount of money that's about to flow in and the amount of gains that people are about to see is going to be unlike anything we have ever seen, even compared to previous cycles. The dollar amount is so vast, and there's going to be so much FOMO. It's going to be a wild 3 months, and possibly go into 2022, maybe the first 2 months of 2022. So get ready, buckle up, get ready, because it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Lastly, this is kind of like a little fun, but I think it's important to address. Vitalik comes out and he's trying to shame Bitcoin Maximus. And I think this has nothing to do with Bitcoin Maximus, okay? But Vitalik Buterin, which is, of course, the co-founder of Ethereum, came out and said, shame on Bitcoin Maximus, who support El Salvador's president in forcing businesses to accept the cryptocurrency. And he believes that they weren't trained or educated well enough and that this was a bad move. But here's the thing. What about the countries that are forcing? I mean, with this argument, you could argue that, well, shame on the United States to force citizens and businesses to accept USD. So I don't like this analogy, and it's not forced because President Nayib have said that, hey, citizens could choose to continue to stay with USD, right? But Bitcoin is just alternative because Bitcoin doesn't inflate like the USD, right? El Salvador and its citizens wants to break free of the chains of the banks and inflation and the IMF and the World Bank, right? So that's why they're using Bitcoin as an alternative, as a way to break free and attain that financial freedom. And I don't think this has nothing to do with Bitcoin maximally, because of course you would choose Bitcoin, right? Of course you would go with the biggest and the one that's a true store of value. El Salvador is not going to say, okay, we're going to force, everyone to go on Ethereum. It doesn't make any sense, because President Nayib also wants something that citizens can possibly hold and gain value from. That's why he said there's no capital gains tax on Bitcoin either. So this has nothing to do with Bitcoin maxing. It's about financial freedom for all. So I really disagree with Vitalik's point in this. I know that he doesn't like Bitcoin maxis. In fact, I don't like Bitcoin maxis. I think the whole group, everyone in the crypto ecosystem, should support each other, right? And I find some Bitcoin maxis just being nasty, trying to downplay everything else or make fun of everything and call everything shit coins just to make Bitcoin look good. But no, if you like Bitcoin, there's nothing wrong with being 100% in Bitcoin, right? But you got to realize there are other uses. For example, Ethereum. Ethereum is used very differently than Bitcoin, right? Stablecoins are used very different than Bitcoin. So there's a lot of use cases for crypto, not just with Bitcoin. Anyways, I just thought I'd bring this out. I think it's a little fun, but I don't agree with what he's saying. I don't see the point of it. Overall, I think El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, who knows? They may adopt others. El Salvador's utilizing Algorand too for the infrastructure, so it's not like they're a Bitcoin maxi. And Bitcoin Maximus, of course, is going to like this move. But again, the whole thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I think overall, it's good. It's a start of something. When you have a country that embraced Bitcoin, right, very first time, others are going to notice. And when others notice, they're going to copy, they're going to replicate, they're going to do the same thing. And overall, this is one of the reasons why Bitcoin will go a lot higher and one day become $1 million plus, because you just don't have enough. You just don't have enough to go around, right? And it's still very, very early. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, it's a good day. It's a good day. Let's do some Q&A. I have to do Q&A with my phone, so bear with me again. All right. Scrolling up, making sure I don't miss anything. All right, last place I was at. Rich Buddy doing a very good job deleting the messages, moderating. Thank you, Rich Buddy. Shiba's on another bull run. It sure is. Shiba just... I told you guys, I like Shiba better than Doge. And I think, it was going to play catch up. And it certainly is. It's still about double. Doge is still about double from Shiba's market cap, but... Can it continue? Sure, but you got to be careful. Shiba is very, very volatile. A lot of people bought in on top and saw it drop down, panic sold, right? If you're going to be in Shiba, just like all other altcoins, make sure you stick with the strategy of DCA, buy the dips, and hodl. Ethan asks, hey, Ben, I'm not Ben. This is not BitBoy. All right, I'm George. Should I sell half of my ETH and roll it into BTC, since it looks like we're seeing a repeat of 2017? I've said this at the beginning. If you don't have enough Bitcoin in your portfolio, I would say roughly 50%. If you don't, you should think about it, right? Maybe if you don't want to get 50%, that's up to you, but you have to have some Bitcoin on hand, because this Bitcoin dominance can continue to go higher and higher and higher. If you're only holding altcoins and they're not moving as fast, you're going to lose out on a lot. So make sure you have the right amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio. What do you think about my exit strategy for BTC? 25% and at 65K, 25% at 85K, 25% at 120K. Sure. Why not? Maybe they're a little aggressive. Maybe you want to do like 15% or 10%, but hey, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. No one ever gets broke taking profits, okay? Kenny Boy says, I'm serious. Tiger King rocking the evolution. Okay, I can't take it serious. I'm sorry, I can't. There's someone else that's called Tiger King that also continues to shill it. But as long as you guys enjoy it, that's okay. You don't need me on board. Um, did you hear about Vault Finance, or is it too small? I have heard of it before. I checked it out. It's a too early stage for me. Why do you think Westerns aren't realizing the use case and current adoption of VeChain around the globe? Just curious your thoughts. I think do. I mean, I supported. I talked about VeChain for a lot of years, and before, back in 2017, really no one wanted to talk about VeChain. These days, most people say, yeah, they've heard of it, they like it. I think people just get bored due to the fact that the price is not going up, right? VeChain, I think, will have a tremendous future. You just have to be patient about it. Lisa Boo, appreciate you being here. Robert asked, my largest position is in ADA. My next position levels are Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link. The next group, okay, you don't have to list all of them. The rest are distributed with lower. Okay. Well, I mean, saying that doesn't really mean all that much to me. Okay, 50, 25, 25 is what I advise. And obviously, if your largest position is ADA, you don't have 50% in Bitcoin. So it's up to you. I mean, of course, it's your portfolio. You decide what's best for you. But keep in mind, if Bitcoin dominance continues to go up, you're going to suffer a little bit because you have not enough Bitcoin in your portfolio. Ethan retracted his super chat. Robert, appreciate the chat. Many thanks for your effort, advice, and time. Best wishes from England, Lauren. I appreciate it. I want to actually visit England someday. I have not. I've been to Europe before. It was when I was younger as a teenager, but I'd like to go back to England one of these days. Or go to England. Go back to Europe, I should say. XRD, layer one that's super under the radar. Sometimes super under the radar does not mean a good thing. Okay, I know you're saying it in terms of, it's under the radar, people will get in and cause it to go up, stuff like that. At this point, if it's still under the radar, most likely it's not going to be on the radar anymore. I mean, just to be fair, because most of the ones that are on the radar now have started going up in a big way, and the ones that's under the radar have not moved. So under the radar is not always a good thing in crypto. What are the best altcoin buys right now? Should we take advantage, right? Yes and no. You got to rewind, Joe, to the beginning, because if Bitcoin dominance continues to go up, you don't want to go too heavy into altcoins right now. If you have enough Bitcoin and you want to take advantage of the altcoins since they're low, sure, right? But just keep in mind, if this is a reoccurring theme, if we're seeing what's happening with Bitcoin dominance going up and it's following the same footsteps as 2017, Bitcoin dominance will go up a lot further. So this will actually not be a good time to buy more and go heavier in altcoins if Bitcoin is going to steal everyone's liquidity right now, right? So it's still early, but I would advise to be more cautious, right? Stack up on BTC. Make sure you have that enough BTC in your portfolio before thinking about DCAing more into altcoins. I think that's important. Okay, moving on. Hey George, 60% in Bitcoin, 25% in Solana. Solana dropping for a month, brought my portfolio down by 10%. Should I move the faster horse? See, that's the problem. Solana is one of those. I have a tremendous amount of Solana, but it has been stagnant for basically like a month now, right? And while that's been happening, BTC has been catching up quite a bit. But I mean, in your case, you only have 25% in Solana. You have 60% in Bitcoin. So you have enough Bitcoin, okay? If you want to get more Bitcoin, that's fine. But right now, you're talking about, a faster horse. Altcoins, none of them are really a faster horse. The only faster horse right now is Shiba, right? So you have to make a determination if you want to get into something like Shiba. But, I mean, right now, there's not really a whole lot as a faster horse than Solana. You could argue maybe Ethereum or something, but it seems like you have enough Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, you could diversify a little more. Unknown, I love your channel. Greeting for Sweden. Hey, welcome, or thank you. How high will Cardano go this year? I think Cardano can still reach $10. I know it seems like it's unlikely at 220, but I still think I'm holding hope that it will see a tremendous move, especially if Bitcoin has a blow off top event and it does blow up and then a lot of the money flows into altcoins. That's when you'll see something like Cardano move up in a big way. But even in the meantime, I think you'll still see a trend up with the market. Do you think it will be a huge sell-off when Bitcoin hits 100K or FOMO or both? FOMO. I don't think we're going to go see a big sell-off of 100K. We may have a correction, okay? If it goes from like 100K down to 90K, like a 10% correction, that's normal. We have 15% correction, that's normal, right? But I expect we will see more FOMO and it will drive things higher, way higher than 100,000. Tough Cookie asks, with 50, 25, 25, should I sell BTC or just take profits on alts as I'm long-term 10 years? If you're long-term 10 years, you just have to make sure you have enough cash on the side. If you're going to hold, you just continue to hold. Although it may be painful, just to warn you, because if we do have a blow-off top event, Bitcoin can come down significantly, and altcoins can come down significantly. I don't think as significant as the blow-off top event in 2017, where Bitcoin went down 85% and altcoins went down 99%. I don't think it'll be that drastic, but be prepared. Bitcoin go down 50% again, and altcoins could go down 70%. However, if you have enough cash on the side, you're able to take advantage of DCA, then you're okay. You can hold 5 to 10 years, no problem. But make sure you recognize that that event could be coming, and you have to be able to be strong enough to withstand it. Otherwise, right, start taking more profits on the way up so you have a great amount of money on the side, and you don't have to sell off the rest. So, OMI price predictions, I don't really have any. It's a fantastic project. It's going to go higher. All right. Mike Slice says, hey, I think it would be good if you appeared around the blockchain. Why do you think so? I appeared once. I don't do well when there's like 5 different people talking. I mean, I could. I did enjoy my conversation. I'll say I've been posting, some clips between myself and CryptoJeb. So I actually did enjoy that interview, though. I think I got out. He asked some very good questions. Jeb asked some really good questions. I think I answered pretty well, right? So, yeah, I don't mind doing more interviews and stuff like that. Anything else? Yeah, I couldn't do DCA yesterday because I am on vacation. I told you guys that. So I couldn't get the timing of it right. Any advice for Dogecoin? Hold or sell? Here's the thing. After learning more about SHIB, I like SHIB a lot better. So I actually think that for people that are holding a large amount of Doge, I think selling like, say, half of it off to get into SHIB, it would be a good move. Not financial advice, but I do think that would be a good move because I just don't see Doge actually, as big as it is, making tremendous moves like it did before. Can it go back to its previous high of 70-something cents? Sure. But by that time, I think something like SHIB would have gone up a lot more. And that's what we're witnessing right now, right? Now, doesn't mean that SHIB will go up forever. After Robinhood lists it, maybe it pumps a little bit, but maybe it calms down afterwards. That could certainly be the case. But if you're just talking about meme coins specifically, I would much rather hold a lot more of SHIB than Doge right now, right? But of course, if you're not into meme coins and you're not limited to meme coins, there's many other altcoins you could get into, right? So just to answer that question directly, is Tether a $70 billion time bomb? It could be. It could be. Here's the thing. It's been speculated for a long time. They don't have enough cash in their reserves being looked at by a lot of regulators, right? It could be. It could be. So don't put your money into USDT if you can help it. Try to do USDC or something else that's not USDT. Beta Finance, never heard of it. Yeah, those of you guys that's not signed up to Holder's Herald, make sure you do so. You can sign up on CryptosRUs.com, bi-weekly newsletters. You get a lot of great info for absolutely nothing, costs you nothing. All you have to do is put in your email, and you'll get a lot of good information. So check it out on CryptosRUs.com. What happens to exchanges that list all their coins pair with USD? If USDT goes under, then they're all going to be screwed. Exchanges are going to be screwed. There's going to be a lot of catastrophic effects. But I do think that, of course, crypto is not going to die. Crypto will continue on. You got to realize it's $80 billion. If it's fake $80 billion or $70 billion, fake $70 billion out of $2.4 trillion is still small, but I think it's going to cause a big dent if it happens. If it happens. It's been talked about for 4 years now, and nothing seems to have happened so far. One bummer about iTrust is you can't coin swap. You have to convert to fiat, then buy, so double the fees. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But you know, when you put it into iTrust, for those of you guys that are into using using your 401k or IRA to trade for tax purposes, you save on a lot of tax. You can use iTrust Capital. I mean, I think the whole point is if you're buying crypto with your 401 or Roth IRA or IRA, you generally don't want to trade too much. You just want to hold it there for long term because you got 10, 20, 30 years before you retire, right? But I guess, yeah, if you had to trade, it costs you some fees. But I hear the fees are very low. They claim, iTrust says their fees are lower than Coinbase's, so it shouldn't be that bad regardless. Can you analyze BTC chart short term? Well, it continues to pump while I'm streaming, so that's good. 15-minute, the RSIs are a little bit high. Let's go out further, like 4 hour. You can see 4 hour RSI has gone as high as 80 something, and it's only barely at 70. So definitely room to grow. MACD actually turning green. You can see on the 4 hour, that's actually very positive, right? So actually could be the start of something. Stochastic topped out, but stochastic, that tends to be not that good of an indicator. On the daily RSI was turning down, turning back up again. You can see, MACD. RSI is turning back up again. RSI is a little bit in the overbought territory, but with FOMO, RSI has been much higher before in the 80s, 90s. So Bitcoin could definitely push way past $60,000. Could push to 64 or 70 even before it needs to correct. So that's my short-term TA for those of you guys that care. But it continues to go higher, 57.8 soon. Seller is actually doing fantastic. One of the altcoins that is doing good, that continues to go up. It's a layer 2 solution, right? And their new bridge seems to have caught on fire. A lot of DeFi projects use their bridge, so it's been helping them, and they have been doing very well. Radoslaw, what's happening with GRT? What's your price prediction? Not a whole lot of people get very excited about GRT. GRT is a project that helps other projects create APIs to be fetched with, and I mean it's necessary, but it's not. Retail investors don't really care about that. So it's one of those projects that will continue to do well, but it's a slow mover, especially as big as it is. It's not going to be a big mover, not as much as the layer ones, and not nearly as much as like the NFTs, which they could blow up. So it's a necessary project, but don't expect it to be pumping very hard. All right, I think that's it. I'll let you guys go. I got to take off anyways. Overall, Bitcoin is doing fantastic, guys, right? But pay attention to Bitcoin dominance. It can continue to go higher. So make sure, this is an important time, I do believe, to start stacking sats. Make sure you have good amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio, because if things continue the way they are and they mimic 2017, we could see Bitcoin dominance go a lot higher. So definitely a good time to start stacking sats. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys hopefully tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care.